All right. So welcome. Grace Rue, who is the head of business development and initiatives from Fashion Go, is joining us. And we have had the great pleasure of working with the team from Fashion Go for a few years now. But first meeting them, being introduced to their platform, the technology that they have absolutely blew me away. The first time I saw it, I was excited, and it's one of those times where you kind of miss. I used to be a buyer, and I was like, if I was a buyer, this is what I would be using myself today. But instead, we run a trade organization, so we get to share it with our members and with our retail friends. So that's super fun. And then, over the time that we've met them, we've gotten to hear them speak. We've gotten to see Fashion Go in action on the ground, meet some of the members like Emelie, who you're going to get to hear from shortly, who was a winner of the Best in Best Design Excellence Award that we had last year. So it's fun to see her on the screen. So Grace.
Yes, hi.
Step on up, and I am gonna just ask you to give us a little overview on Fashion Go, and how to determine, like, is a digital marketplace good for me?
Yes, simply put, Fashion Go is a digital or virtual platform that brings sellers like manufacturers or brands together with retail buyers virtually to discover each other via product or the brand, and also transact. But best defined by its advantages. I think we've heard a lot about online marketplace, and we've heard so many that are out there. But really, what are the advantages of these marketplace? And I think that's the best definition. It's an online site, right? So it's actually open 24/7. So Fashion Go is very accessible. Beyond your, 9 to 6 or whatever it may be, it's free for retail buyers to browse whenever, and vice versa for brands to upload their products when they have time. And it's very expansive geographically. Who we serve isn't really limited to one region, but rather the type or the category of products that they have. So it could go across globally. On that thought, though, it's also an unlimited showroom for brands and retailers to really take leverage. It's in a physical showroom, you might be bound by certain collections, but on Fashion Go, you could upload all of your collections. But there is also a tool on Fashion Go where you get your own storefront, where you can highlight certain bestsellers or any recommendations that you have for retail buyers. And most of all, it's a growing marketplace. It's a growing place. We've heard, and I'm sure everyone has heard about marketplaces, especially during COVID when in-person trade shows were closed, right? Retailers and brands had nowhere to go, or it was really hard for any of them to discover new arrivals, which is still very important. Alongside with that, it's actually B2B marketplaces have been growing. In fact, it grew 5.3 times since 2020 to 2022. And when you take a look at e-commerce growth, P2P marketplace is actually on the faster side of that growth at 7.2%, according to Digital Commerce. So it's very, very relevant. Ken, I think you're on mute.
And I'm trying so hard to be quiet, and or I was too quiet. Did you want me to play the video?
Sure. Or yeah.
Okay, let me try to do this. I was trying to make it big, and that is where I'm having issues. So hopefully you will be able to see it. 1 second. I apologize because I said for whatever reason it's embedded in an email, but it's not letting me play it right now without letting the email up. Okay, let me try this.
No worries. I could also go into more
Yeah.
about,
Do
I
you
talked
want to,
about.
yeah, go ahead and I apologize for the blip because I wanted to start it, but it is just not, it's just not playing.
I'm pretty sure we can share it with the group afterwards, but I
Great.
also wanted to bring up something that's really, I think some of the brands may have, or retailers too. In an online marketplace, because you are open, right? On Fashion Go, what happens is a brand and both brand and retail buyers will have to submit certain type of documentation to prove that or support that they are legitimate business owners and that they're on Fashion Go to do business, not just browsing, or it's not an end consumer that we're dealing with. With that thought in mind, I know that some brands and retailers could think about, and it's just any and all marketplace, is, hey, how do I know that they're serious, right? And usually that thought comes across in 2 points. At the entry point, depending on the marketplace, usually there are certain documentation, like I've described, for process for entry, where they can now view different brands. But it also happens at purchase, right? Customer reviews are great on a retail perspective, looking at brands. However, how do I know? How do I know that these reviews are real and I can trust them? So on Fashion Go, there's something called fulfillment rates. And I think when you take a look at a business, reviews may be great, but fulfillment rate to really objectively show that how fast will they be able to get this product to me, right? In what manner? I think that's really important because that's more objective than a subjective review. So while there are disadvantages, please to understand that not just Fashion Go, but a lot of the marketplaces are thinking through this, right, with sell-through in mind. And there are certain procedures and process that we do put in place. Sometimes they could be burdensome for the brand to come on, but again, that trust and that credibility has to go both ways.
Gotcha. So we talked a little bit about what is an online B2B marketplace, and you described what Fashion Go does. Can you talk a little bit about the geography of the, who are you reaching? Where are your buyers? Can I use it in certain hours? How does it work? How does that part work?
Sure, absolutely. I use the word accessible when I was describing Fashion Go. And that's actually two front. One, we're online, so we're open 24/7, right? We don't really close. So if you think about it in an in-person trade show or trade event, there are certain times when the doors open and when the doors close. For Fashion Go, that doesn't really happen because we're online. Secondly, geographically, that kind of expands our borderlines. We no longer are just staying at one region, but we're able to invite different global brands to be on our site and retailers to check out different brands. To be honest, this process, we want to make sure that they're legitimate business owners, so there are processes that we go through. Currently, most of our brands are US based. And this has to do with how we also take a look at the vendors to make sure that they're credible and they're qualified. Secondly, our Fashion Go is open to anyone. It doesn't matter what business stage there may be. They can be just starting all the way to seasoned veterans, right? So we host many different type of retailers and brands.
Gotcha. And then if I am a brand, is how many products can I put up there? How does that, how does my showroom online
Sure.
work?
Yeah. So there's a limit in which you can upload. I believe that's about 50 or 100. Let me check on that. Elliot's here, so maybe Elliot from our new vendor team may be able to answer that better than I can.
Hello.
However, we do advise that you're very careful about what you upload. By the way, you can always activate or inactivate an item that you put on so that the retailers can see that. So you have full flexibility and control over what you set out there first. But because, again, retailers are looking for new arrivals, right? So if it's your best sellers, awesome, please do have that up there. But if it's something that if it's new arrivals, I would suggest those go up first. There is a limit, but doesn't mean that because Fashion Go has a limit, that's all you can put up. We have options available, so you can upload a lot more, thousands of items at that, if you'd like. Yep. And for Accessories Council, we've worked out, again, we value this partnership very much, so much that we're open to offering benefits to all ACE members and council members that as a thank you, that we could work things out as far as how many items can you upload and whatever it may be on your first month.
So, I know how we're, like I said, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of discussions with Fashion Go, but you do have a pretty helpful onboarding. So if I'm a new brand and I've never done it before, how do you work with those vendors to make it an easy adaptation?
Sure. I can go through my protocol, but I'd love to open this up to Emelie from Everina and Lina so that they could also share with you what their experience has been. You're right, Karen. We actually do have a very hands-on process when it comes to onboarding for a couple reasons. One, this is a digital marketplace and not everybody may be used to this, right? So, and there's a lot of products to upload. So we actually have a dedicated team. We have a team that uploads your items with you or for you, so that you can bulk upload them at the same time. We also have a new vendors team who would be able to train you, show you demos, and answer any questions you may have as you get set up so that you can sell. And then we also have a team after you get onboarded. We have a dedicated account manager to each brand that'll help the process and the journey be very successful on Fashion Go. With that in mind, we've invited Everina, we've also invited Savali New York to kind of let us know about their experience. Everina joined us in 2022, Emelie, so she might be more fresh on the onboarding stage, whereas I feel like Savali New York could share with us how their experience has been like after the onboard process.
Great. Hey, and after you do that, at some point, Grace, can you pop the site up on the screen so everyone can see it? Because we have a few questions that would like to kind of see exactly, what it looks like.
Sure. I'm going to ask if Kiara can do that for us, so that everyone can see how the main page of Fashion Go looks like. And you'll realize on Fashion Go, when you take a look at a marketplace, the main page sometimes tells a great story. Certain marketplaces are very brand focused, so that a retail buyer will discover a brand by the brand names. Certain ones are very closed, where a retail buyer will need some type of approval from the brand that they want to see, the lineage that they want to see. On Fashion Go, we call it immediate discovery. And a retailer could discover your brand, your products by item or by the brand itself. So there's many different ways in which you can get discovered. It doesn't have to, your retailer not necessarily will have to know your brand to understand who you are. They can find you by item. In fact, retailer, and as Kiara puts that up, you'll also be able to see that there's many different methods in which a retailer or brand could find a brand. It has to do with search. How are they searching for your brand and your items? We have a text-based search, right? Very usual, what everyone has, you Google it, right? But there's also image-based search, and this is very unique to Fashion Go. Any retailer could get an image from anywhere on the web, right? On a search engine, social platform, and you get that image and you search against Fashion Go. In fact, when you look at the very top of the Fashion Go site, you'll see a camera, right? And when you click on that, that's where you can upload or even copy and paste in an image that you've seen. When you run that, you'll be able to see hundreds of search or results that either match what you're looking for exactly or find something similar to it. And this isn't just for apparel. It actually goes across accessories, jewelry, bags, footwear, so that a retailer could find your brand easily. And brands could be assured knowing that whatever retail buyer are coming their way, they're very serious about having a business relationship.
Oops, thank you. That's wonderful. Okay, you were just introducing Emelie and the team from Stavali, so I will let you get back to that.
Yay. So I'm really excited to introduce these two brands on Fashion Go because they've been wonderful partners, but also it's always encouraging for us to know that what we're doing is working. Because at the end of the day, we're here to be a resource, a tool, not only just a marketplace, so that we're here to support what you're doing, not just in your business, but what you believe in and how you want to conduct your relationships on Fashion Go. So without further ado, love to introduce Everina, Emelie, who is also the winner of Design Excellence Awards, the Fashion Go Award. Hi. I think she may be experiencing. Oh no, we can't hear you.
Hello. I'm so sorry. The connection has been really weird today.
No,
Can you guys hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Cool.
And great to have you.
Thank you guys. My name is Emelie Conroy. I'm one of the co-founders for Everina. We're based in Los Angeles. We started our business in 2017, direct to consumer, and then we jump into wholesale right when pandemic started, 2020. But actually our business has grown quite a lot since joining the wholesale world and then also joining Fashion Go last year. Our business is again based in Los Angeles, but we have handbags that are handmade in Indonesia. It is eco-friendly, and also we make sure that it's ethically sourced, meaning we don't undermine our artisans in Indonesia. We work with them directly, and we've been on Fashion Go since about spring of 2022, and it's been quite a success reaching buyers that we are not able to reach through other means of marketing.
That's great. I think she's frozen. And what about that? Should we meet Team Stavali?
Yes, absolutely. Stavali, New York, based in New York, by the way, Karen, closer to where you are. Yeah, I think their brand was founded in 2016, but they've been making shoes way before that in 1998, from what I can understand. And it's family run. So I'd let Lina know if you can hire me.
Well, hey everyone, and thank you so much for sharing this time with us. We are like truly honored to be here. So let's start talking a little bit about us. So yes.
Well, first of all, again, thank you. It is an honor. Fashion Go has been really amazing for us. And actually, for us, we, like Grace was saying, we come actually with the goal to envision aspirational yet obtainable and wearable collections. We believe footwear should be sophisticated in form and ethical to wear. And what we create is what we call accessible luxury. Yes, we are here in New York, getting inspired by New York and the world, but we represent Colombia as well here.
So a little bit about our story as well. Well, we are the co-founders, and we have been together for more than 12 years, and we met in Colombia where we started finance and foreign affairs, and actually we moved here to the US with the dream to show the beautiful craftsmanship that we have in our country. Of course, support our families and support the families behind the artisans. So that was one of the main goals.
As a child, literally, what Grace was saying, I come from a shoemaking background. I grew up in between the atelier stores, trade shows, but in Colombia. And this know-how and education shaped our journey to conceive Festival in New York, based in New York City. And in 2016, we decided to move here and start our dream from scratch. We came here literally from zero with $100, literally. And we did everything we could to self-finance our business. And along the way, actually, we did some of the biggest fashion trade shows, Magic in Vegas, Coterie here in New York. That is actually when we came across Fashion Go, or actually the other way around. And it was really amazing, and it was really great to listen from as well from Emelie, and really great because for us it was the other way around. From 2016 until 2020, our business was wholesale.
Just wholesale. And in 2020, we decided to open our first flagship store slash showroom here in Williamsburg, New York. And actually, we were 100% sure that the shoes will sell by themselves once women started to try them on. And we literally, it was a little bit risky, that decision, but let me tell you, it was the best decision that we could have made. So actually, thanks to this space, and one of the main beautiful things that we have experienced throughout this process is having Fashion Go in our entrepreneurial journey. They have supported us several times with marketing tools, with videos, with live streams. So they are always, I think that our brand is more into family values, and they make us feel like family with them.
Yeah,
like,
working with Fashion Go, building on that, doesn't feel like we are working with a third party. Truly, it feels like we're working with family, with a team that is already part of Festival in New York. Like we were saying, truly, we were doing wholesale in person through trade shows, and when Fashion Go came across us, we started to discover this opportunity to grow online B2B. And the onboarding process was amazing. We were basically at any time at our best convenience able to have their support, help
24/7
via phone, via virtual calls, in person many times with different teams. Actually, with Elliot, we had an amazing time here.
Elliot, it is really nice to see you. It's been a while.
I mean, I think
Yeah, it has been a while. I'm so glad that you guys are doing well.
no, it is amazing. The whole team is like, again, we see you guys and it feels like family. So it's thank you for doing what you are doing.
So can I ask you, okay, so you're on a roll, your brand's doing well. What made you decide to go on the digital platform, and how have you met new vendors online? Like how has that worked? And I think that particularly with footwear, when there's a specific fit, I just love to hear about your experience.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we really wanted to focus is our digital sales. Why? Because of COVID.
I'm going to chime in without a video just to make sure we have stable connection. Can everyone hear me?
We can.
Okay, awesome. Amazing. Yeah, so how's the platform has helped your brand? Was that your question?
Yeah.
Karen?
Yeah.
I feel like in a lot of ways, Fashion Go has been very important in growing our business since last year, reaching boutiques on quote unquote Main Street that are not able to go to the biggest trade shows because it's a lot of expenses, related to traveling and also going to trade shows. So we honestly have been reaching buyers in small towns, which is amazing because we're able to connect with them online. There's a chatting section on Fashion Go platform that we're able to chat back and forth with them with ease. So to be able to connect with these small town buyers are actually very valuable for us because they care about choosing brands that not only will sell, but also have values that they're looking for. And we have more of a long-term relationship with these smaller boutiques in the small town, and actually quite some of them asking for what they call exclusivity in their town. So if there's a couple of boutiques that are in their town, they ask for exclusivity, and we meet them through Fashion Go. And also it has helped our brand in digital marketing. I love especially the Fashion Go Live that we're able to do at least twice a year.
Emelie, what is Fashion Go Live? Can you?
So Fashion Go Live is basically like you're on HSN or QVC, but on Fashion Go. So it's a in-person live selling where you have one dedicated host provided by Fashion Go, and you can have either your brand ambassador or the co-founder of your brand, basically selling your newest collection or upcoming collection live. It's like Instagram Live or QVC. You know, and we love that because customers can see the products like actually moving on a video, not just on their computer. Also, what I love is Fashion Go also post this live on their YouTube section, so customers can also rewatch the video.
You know, I wanted to kind of jump in and why did Fashion Go do this? Because this is not our bread and butter, right? Before even COVID, I really want to emphasize that Fashion Go was founded in 2002. So we were here for 20 years before COVID hit. And our online trade events, and this is where I apologize. This is our, during COVID, we've launched our first Fashion Go Week, our online trade show, but it just expedited what we were going to do anyway, because we've realized that any brand, manufacturer, or vendors, the first thing I think or the most toughest question and challenge they face is marketing. How do they promote or market their B2B brand to retailers? And that's a tough question for anyone to answer. But looking back at who we are and what we can do, we did the best we can. And some of those has to do with making sure that we're using our technology like AI and machine learning so that people are discovering these different brands when it's relevant to them, right? When someone's looking at, say, apparel, that's when accessories and footwear make perfect sense. We help merchandise your products so that it makes sense and retailers can actually visualize how they would purchase and style your products, right? How to get them in the door. But more importantly, how do you, because one of the things about digital or virtual relationship is there isn't a real-time back and forth conversation. So vendor lives, we call Join Us Live, and these live streams are one of the ways where we wanted to combat that. How do we allow the brands to introduce their style, more their brand story, what they're about? Because I think that's very relevant and important for retailers to know who the brand is, what they stand for, and why it's so important to pay attention to the type of materials or style that they're presenting to the world. So we provide this so that the brands could showcase their items themselves in their own way, in the way that they need to be presented. And at the same time, using our technology, we allow the retailers, very similar to webinars, right? Where you can ask questions through chat right away, and also shop that item. So as the video or the live stream goes on, we highlight certain key items that the presenter is talking about so that the retailer just clicks on that and it goes to their shopping cart and it's waiting for them. Those are some of the ways where we wanted to, one, make sure that the brands are being discovered the right way and the way that they want to be. And number two, making that relationship into something that's more meaningful in a business matter. Along with that, though, we also have ways where, vendors or brands could send out a chat to a small subset of group who they identified as a certain category and run special promotions just to those retailers. So you have flexibility and control in how you promote your items or how you give value to them, not only in ways of what Fashion Go allows you to do, but actually manage your own buyers. Because at the end of the day, that's your relationship. And we are here to facilitate that relationship, but you own that relationship.
That's great. I do wanted to ask either, either of the brands who are on, so when you meet a new retailer at a show, you have a dialogue, you kind of get if their vibe is right for you. Are they in a spot where you want to be? Do the brands that they sell, are they complements to yours? How do you know in an online marketplace that this is a retailer that's a great match for me? Is there any way that has worked well for you?
Karen, actually, let me, if you don't mind, answer to that and to finalize your previous question about how accessories and footwear.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Well, for us, actually, we see it as a compliment, a brand awareness, and being able to reach out markets that without opportunities like the one that Fashion Go offers, it will be really hard. Thanks to Fashion Go, technically we have access to every single state and 24/7. But the combination of doing that plus our presence online, in person, in trade shows is what really brings legitimacy. And for footwear, that in-person connection as well in the trade shows is many times we have many clients that come to the trade shows because they know us
from
Fashion Go, and they at that moment they're like, guys, I love you, I love what you do, and this is simply all I wanted to do, just see the product in person, because especially in shoes,
and then they place the order.
It makes the other way, it makes the whole difference. There is people that don't really mind, and they're more confident about buying online. But again, the combination of the online presence, the social media work, what the work that Fashion Go do as well with the live show, like Emelie was saying, and a combination of other campaigns that they do is amazing. And then to complement to your question, the last one, do you want to?
No, you go ahead.
I think we it's again brand awareness throughout everything, and connecting, and being able to work in team. For example, now we're going to Magic, and Fashion Go is also letting us connect with our buyers and advertise that we are going to be there. So plus the Fashion Go team, sometimes you guys
they come and visit us as well,
and actually they many times
they
host booths.
And they gave us last time like hand sanitizers. Like they always come with beautiful presents for our clients as well, which is great. And as of of course, thanks to thanks to the marketplaces that we are right now, we are actually currently in more than 300 boutiques around the US, Canada, and Europe. So that is really great, and that is something that we really always try to tell a lot of brands, please join Fashion Go, because that is an amazing marketplace where you can grow your brand, you can create brand awareness, you can connect with buyers. So yeah, being there has been an amazing experience.
It is complementary, super complementary. It connects with everything. We sometimes we are not even doing the shows, we're simply visiting, and people see them. I mean, they already are aware of what we do, the ones that have been following us, and they go, Fashion Go, Stivali, guys, I need you in my life.
Sounds like it's a combination of retailing and marketing and awareness for your brand. So it's doing more than just being a showroom. It's advertising.
Oh no, it's massively much more. And again, that is simply in terms of facts and what you can feel and see. But then what we were telling you again, Fashion Go makes you feel like family, and that is priceless as well. So it's amazing.
So there are a couple questions in the chat, and that have come to me. So maybe a Fashion Go team, you could answer it. What do you help with drop shipping? What is the how does that process of deliver? Is it just wholesale? I ship it right to the retailer. Do you help brands get the product out?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So drop shipping is something, a part of Fashion Go that we've launched relatively not too long ago in April last year. So if you are a registered buyer on Fashion Go, you have access to DS, no membership fee, as always. And you have access to the brands that already exist on Fashion Go on the drop shipping side as well. So how the process happens or how it works is that a retail buyer would take a look at the brands, different items, and if they have Shopify, they just need to import. And that item will show up in the retailer's POS, Shopify store. When their end shopper places an order, that order actually goes through to Fashion Go to the vendor and they fulfill it on your behalf immediately to the end shopper. We have strict rules when it comes to vendors or these Fashion Go manufacturers and brands shipping out the products. We have to make sure that it's very generic as possible, right? And we've also included, this year, we've also included some key features where on the invoice itself, we import the retailer's logo and a short message so that it feels like an extension of the retail instead of a manufacturer or a brand. And that's important, I think, for the brands as well, because at the end of the day, that loyalty has to go across, the retailer, that relationship as well. So instead of the brands and the vendors having to invest in that resource, Fashion Go will do it for you so that it's really a lot more convenient and easy process for both vendors and retail buyers.
That's wonderful. So just if I'm a retailer, I have a website, I can have an extended assortment online through Fashion Go.
Exactly. And you don't have to invest in packs, because that's how in this industry, that's how we purchase, right? It could be individual items that the retailer could post on their Shopify or their POS. At the same sense, on the brand side, you also get this advantage of expanding more different types of buyers that now purchase into your items and your brands. So it's really making sure that we're expanding that opportunity and that potential of getting new customers and different types of customers.
Okay. So I'm thinking of signing up for Fashion Go. What do I need to be prepared for? How much, time, like what's going to happen? I'm in, I want to sign up. Then what? I get to see Elliot?
Actually, yes. So
okay, I like that.
if you're going to come on board as a Fashion Go seller, the manufacturer or brand, there's a one-page almost, we call it an application, but it was really about to get to know your showroom and your business. And our NVA, the new vendor acquisition team, will get that application in essence and give you a call and kind of go over that information with you. And they learned a little bit more about you so that we know exactly where to place you, how to kind of set you up. But yes, very much so. Elliot and his team is the first line of Fashion Go representative that you'll be able to speak with in person.
Wonderful. All right. Does anyone else have questions or comments or there is a question about, how do I know which online marketplace is right for me? So maybe the way to answer that is talking about, Fashion Go team, your sweet spot.
Sure, absolutely. This is, I've touched upon it briefly, but when you look at a marketplace and you want to try to understand what type of retailers or buyers will it come across, you also have to look at where that platform's background or foundations are from. For example, Fashion Go 2002, we're actually founded by brands that are in LA district. In 2014, that's when NHN. So we're actually owned by one of the top public tech companies of Korea. So they really invested in technology. So we really have these two, roots really deeply ingrained. With that in mind, a lot of what we offer, right, on the brand side, how you process an order or make that first connection with your retailer is very different than the other marketplaces, because we understand the complex orders, the complex relationships, and all the decision making that goes in establishing that customer relationship. On the other side, for the retailers, our retailers are coming in knowing this is serious about fashion. This is a fashion wholesale marketplace, so they're very focused on that. Where other marketplaces could offer many different things that feel like almost like a Target, like a general store, Fashion Go isn't. So you'll know that not only our brands, but the retail buyers that enter, that come and really browse and are shopping on Fashion Go are specialty boutique owners and buyers that are very focused on fashion items that complement apparel as well as apparel. So that's the difference.
Gotcha. One more question is, just statistics, like as a tech company, what are you able to, are you able to share trends? I must
Sure, absolutely.
imagine- Yeah.
So Fashion Go, if you look at our shopping cart, like all of our retailers' shopping carts, over 40%, I think close to 50%, have some type of accessories or footwear item in them. That means we have a concentrated retailer who are very highly interested in getting these items. And it makes sense because the way we allow items to be discovered is the way we merchandise them, right? With that in mind, if you're an accessories vendor or a footwear brand, unless in the next couple of years, you're planning on introducing a whole collection of apparel to help the retailers think through your items and style a bit, it's really difficult to do so. But in Fashion Go, we have many different curation sections that allow your items to be merchandised with other well-known and favorite brands and items. And that shows through how people are shopping on our site. Secondly, we've been experiencing huge growth in accessories, especially. In fact, before COVID and now our 4-year growth in just the order amount grew 134%. And it's the last time I checked, and it's been a while. And with that, retailers also grew double what we had before, right? So not only are we really focused and invested in accessories and jewelry and handbags because they're very important fashion trend items, and also something that's very integral, I think, to fashion. We have buyers and we have brands paying a lot more attention to Fashion Go. And why miss out on that opportunity?
Okay. Last question, Fashion Go week. We're in the middle of it.
Yes,
What
we are.
happens during Fashion Go week? And yeah, exciting.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea, when we first, and I think I mentioned, our first Fashion Go week, our new buyer registration grew 153%. And following year, very similar numbers of new buyers coming on. So we're getting a lot of traffic, and a lot of buyers being interested, new buyers being interested during Fashion Go week, especially because during Fashion Go week, we have brands releasing and announcing new arrivals for the very first time. And that really gets a lot of retailers' attention because if you're a Fashion Go buyer, Fashion Go week is going on at very key moments of around the year, over the year. With that said, there's vendor lives that happen. 5 vendors, brands go live every day. There are discounts and promotions that we always encourage our brands to make, like to honor their first-time buyers to get more. Brands in place, but we also have something called vendor referrals, where if you bring in your own buyers to Fashion Go, we'll reward you for it. We'll give the vendor $100 in search ad credit. Because remember, Fashion Go is very much of a marketplace where there are ads available, ways to market yourself in different ways, and promote yourself in different ways, but also we'll also provide a FG coupon of $100 to the retailer that you referred so that they spend that with your brand only. So there are different things where we think the retention as well. But during Fashion Go week, all those existing promotions and deals and marketing tools exist, but we have a lot more traffic, number one. And number two, we curate it in a very relevant way for you to be discovered, for every brand to be discovered in different ways. And more importantly, this is the week when we know we're starting off the season. You're going to get retailers who are looking for in-stock items, meaning faster sell-through, as well as pre-orders.
Got it. Okay. So if anybody wants a demo or you want to talk to the Fashion Go team, the information's in the chat, but you can obviously reach out to us and we will connect you. And we will be, Cindy and I from the Accessories Council will be in Las Vegas next week. So if anybody's there, let us know. We are going to stop by and say hello. Stay tuned for the council. Our Tuesday newsletters, those are the ones to read. We're going to have all of our information, our editorial requests, our upcoming events, our news. So take a peek at those. And we look forward to seeing everybody very soon. And I look forward to seeing all the brands on Fashion Go. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.